Okay. Well, there we go, fellas. That's where they put the water pools, is over there. Just back vistas for you. So, what do you think about the light? Yeah. So we've got a little bit of a water course down here. Runs down here. And of course the park back end is in through there. And these rocks here might, I'm not sure, could be, yeah, I know Ev loves the rocks. I just like the way you got the moss there, and you got your sonkus there, and the colours, the differences. And we've got that sort of chalky look there too on the, especially later on in the season. So we've got this sort of what seems to be like regolith material coming through here. Could be totally wrong on that, of course. I mean, you've got to wonder how they actually chose the reservoir and the extent of the reservoir. You know, where do we draw the boundaries, fellas? You know, I assume it's been built by geologists with their knowledge of other lands, lands that have more extensive flowages of water. But then again, that could also be a negative, with a cycle of wet and then dry. You know, and I don't think those cracks were there when we filmed it. Was it last season or the season before? I think it was early. You know, I did one of the annual walkarounds for Barry Rice's. Oh yes, fellas, look at that. When we did the walk around, I don't think those cracks were there. Barry my urban weed patrol. Oh yes, look at this, fellas. Look at that. I don't think it was cracked like that when. Whoa, yes, fellas. I think. Oh yes. Okay. Do you want to go back and look at those things? I think they're only in. I think at least one of them will be in 1080p. And I think I've got some stills. I could also go out back to those clips, I believe, and cut out some more stills. And we could do the. Yeah, maybe I need to do that. I'll just film this now. And then I'll go back and we can compare JPEGs from either a year or 2 years ago and JPEGs from today from this series of clips. And it's cracking on the top there, and then we got this crack here. So is it like your teeth? You know, you got some problem with your molars, and it could actually crack your indent. What do they call them? Incisors or something. So you get your incisors cracked by actually an event occurring around your molars. There's pressure on your molars, but it's not the molars that break, because they're much bigger. It'll be something that's thinner, and the force and the pressure is being pushed along. Yeah, well, I mean, that's a lot of movement, isn't it, fellas? That's about 2 inches there. And this is on the end of a dry. I'd be worried about these people living on, well, here and on the other side of the park as well, because if the reservoir goes, you know, well, usually there's only, 2 ways that they normally go. You usually get a trickle that develops into something bigger, or suddenly they just go crack and bang. It just, you know. Isn't that right? From all the programs I watch, there's usually only 2 basic ways that these things happen. There is some sort of slow development that slowly gets worse and worse and worse, or there's something, and the signs are so subtle no one notices it and just goes crack eventually. Which, well, we are noticing signs, fellas. I reckon that's crackage that wasn't there. Well, 2 years, maybe it was only last season when I filmed the Baz's Urban Weed Patrol. That's how I think you can find them. I think I've done 3 of them. The first one was done in 780p. I think the last 2 may actually be in 1080. So, yeah. Anyway, fellas, with 18 seconds on the car, I think I'll go back to the... I was thinking of sprinkling some grid seed out here, but it might not be here next year. It might be a waste of seed. Might not actually be here next season. May have all tumbled down there somewhere. Okay.